Hello and welcome to Bedtime with Bird. I'm Courtney Dawn and we're so glad that you could join us. Our hearts ride with you. We are birds on the same wind. Let's get started with our first story tonight. Our first story is Alexander, who used to be rich. Last Sunday by Judith Viorst, illustrated by Ray Cruz. Boys and girls, do you remember Alexander? He had a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day just a few weeks ago. This time, he used to be rich. Last Sunday. Let's find out what's going on. Alexander, who used to be rich last Sunday. How to be very rich. Oh, looks like Noodle's leaving us. Let's snuggle in for our first story. To the boys, Grandma Betty and Grandpa Louis Viorst. It isn't fair that my brother Anthony has $2 and 3/4 and 1 dime and 7 nickels and 18 pennies. That sounds like a lot of money, doesn't it? It isn't fair that my brother Nicholas has $1 and 2/4 and 5 dimes and 5 nickels and 13 pennies. It isn't fair because what I've got is bus tokens. And most of the time what I've got is bus tokens. And even when I'm very rich, I know that pretty soon what I'll have is bus tokens. I know because I used to be rich last Sunday. Last Sunday, Grandma Betty and Grandpa Louie came to visit from New Jersey. They brought lox because my father likes to eat lox. They brought plants because my mother likes to grow plants. They brought $1 for me and $1 for Nick and $1 for Anthony because my mom says, it isn't nice to say this, but we like money a lot, especially me. My father told me to put the $1 away to pay for college. He was kidding. Anthony told me to use the $1 to go downtown to a store and buy a new face. Anthony stinks. Nikki said to take the $1 and bury it in the garden, and in a week, a dollar tree would grow. Ha, ha, ha. Mom said, if I really want to buy a walkie-talkie, save my money. Saving is hard. Because last Sunday, when I used to be rich, I went to Pearson's drugstore and got bubble gum. And after the gum stopped tasting good, I got more gum. And after that gum stopped tasting good, I got more gum. And even though I told my friend David I'd sell him all the gum in my mouth for a nickel, he still wouldn't buy it. Goodbye, 15 cents. Last Sunday, when I used to be rich, I bet that I could hold my breath till 300. Anthony won. I bet that I could jump from the top of the stoop and land on my feet. Nikki won. I bet that I could hide this purple marble in my hand and my mom would never guess which hand I was hiding it in. I didn't know that moms made children pay. Goodbye, another 15 cents. I absolutely was saving the rest of my money. I positively was saving the rest of my money. Except that Eddie called me up and said that he would rent me his snake for an hour. I always wanted to rent his snake for an hour. Goodbye, 12 cents. Anthony said that when I'm 99, I still won't have enough for a walkie-talkie. Nick said I'm too dumb to be let loose. My father said there are certain words a boy can never say, no matter how ratty and mean his brothers are being. My father fined me 5 cents for saying each of them.
Goodbye, dime. Last Sunday, when I used to be rich, by accident, I flushed 3 cents down the toilet. A nickel fell through a crack when I walked on my hands. I tried to get my nickel out with a butter knife and also my mother's scissors. Goodbye, 8 cents, and the butter knife, and the scissors. Last Sunday, when I used to be rich, I found this chocolate candy bar just sitting there. I rescued it from being melted or smushed, except the way that I rescued it from being melted or smushed was that I ate it. How was I supposed to know it was Anthony's? Goodbye, 11 cents. I absolutely was saving the rest of my money. I positively was saving the rest of my money. But then Nick did a magic trick that made my pennies vanish into thin air. The trick to bring them back, he hasn't learned yet. Goodbye, 4 cents. Anthony said that even when I'm 199, I still won't have enough for a walkie-talkie. Nick said they should lock me in a cage. My father said that there are certain things that a boy can never kick, no matter how ratty and mean his brothers are being. My father made me pay 5 cents for kicking it. Goodbye, nickel. Last Sunday, when I used to be rich, Kathy around the corner had a garage sale. I positively only went to look. I looked at a half-melted candle. I needed that candle. I looked at a bear with only one eye. I needed that bear. I looked at a deck of cards that was perfect, except for no 7 of clubs and no 2 of diamonds. I didn't need that 7 or that 2. Goodbye, 20 cents. I was absolutely saving the rest of my money. I positively was saving the rest of my money. Except that I needed some money to save. I tried to make a tooth fall out. I could put it under my pillow and get a quarter. No loose teeth. I know, Noodle. He didn't have any loose teeth left. I looked in Pearson's telephone booths for nickels and dimes that sometimes people forget. No one forgot. I brought some non-returnable bottles down to Friendly's Market. Friendly's Market wasn't very friendly. I told my grandma and grandpa to come back soon. Last Sunday, when I used to be rich, I used to have $1. I do not have $1 anymore. I've got this dopey deck of cards. I've got this one-eyed bear. I've got this melted candle. And some bus tokens. The end. Oh, Alexander. I just love him. What about you, boys and girls? Do you like Alexander, who used to be rich? Last Sunday by Judith Forrest. All right, our next book today is going to be Leo Lione, A Color of His Own. Have you read this one before? It's one of our favorites. A chameleon goes in search of a color of his own and finds a true friend. Let's find out all about it. Parrots are green. Goldfish are red. Elephants are gray. Pigs are pink. All animals have a color of their own. Except
for chameleons. They change color wherever they go. On lemons, they are yellow. In heather, they are purple. And on the tiger, they are striped like tigers. Isn't that fun? They change wherever they go. What a unique animal. One day a chameleon was sitting on a tiger's tail and said to himself, "If I remain on a leaf, I shall be green forever, and so I too will have a color of my own." With this thought, he cheerfully climbed on the greenest leaf, but in autumn the leaf turned yellow, and so did the chameleon. Later the leaf turned red, and the chameleon too turned red. And then the winter winds blew the leaf from the branch, and with it the chameleon. The chameleon was black in the long winter night. He's changing with all of the seasons, isn't he? But when spring came, he walked out into the grass, and there he met another chameleon. He told his sad story. "Won't we ever have a color of our own?" he asked. "I'm afraid not," said the other chameleon, who was older and wiser. But he added, "Why don't we stay together? We will still change color wherever we go, but you and I will always be alike." And so they remained side by side. They were green together. Oh, they found friends. Look at that, boys and girls. And purple and yellow. And red with white polka dots. And they lived happily ever after. The end. Oh, wasn't that lovely? They found friends in the end. And boys and girls, I think we have a special guest to come do some jokes with us. Are you ready? I think I hear her now. Here she is. I see our sweeper. Maddie, are you ready?
Why did the bed wear a disguise?
Why did the bed wear a disguise? Oh, I don't know. Why did the bed wear a disguise, boys and girls?
It was undercover.
It was undercover. Oh, that's silly. What's the next one?
What do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back?
A boomerang that doesn't come back. Naughty.
A stick.
That's terrible. What's our next one?
When do pine trees like to do embroidery?
When do pine trees like to do embroidery? What do you think, boys and girls?
I think I know.
What do you think it is?
When they do needlepoint.
When they do needlepoint. Because they have needles. Oh, that's terrible. These are such bad jokes. Do you have one more? All right. You ready for one more? What do you think it'll be?
What is a baby's motto?
What is a baby's motto? I'll cry if I want to.
If at first you don't succeed, cry again.
I love it. These are terrible jokes, aren't they? Are you going to stay for our last book?
Where do you keep your jokes?
Where do you keep your jokes?
You're going to love this one.
Oh, what is it?
A giggle box.
I do love it. Are you going to stay for our last book? No, you're going to run off. Oh, thank you for doing our jokes tonight. We just love when she visits.
I'm going to fly away.
And our bird flies away. All right. Well, they say third time's the charm. Sweet Charlotte, we brought part-time princess back for a third time. This time, producer Chris says he has gone through and checked every page to make sure that we have every page of Part-Time Princess. Girl by Day, Princess by Night by Deborah Underwood, illustrated by Cambria Evans. I have been promised that every page is faithfully been checked and we have them all. Here we go, Charlotte. This one is for you. For Sophia and Sarah, with love. To my favorite twin, Jen Merrill, and to Princess Elsa and Lola. Here we go. During the day, I am a regular girl. I have to take spelling tests. My little brother breaks my crayons and I am not allowed to jump off the high dive or stomp in puddles. But at night, after mom kisses me and tucks me in, I become a princess. Oh, Noodle's worried about that. At the stroke of midnight, a sparkling crown appears on my head. A magical staircase rolls down from my window. My coach awaits. I tell the driver to hurry because... What do you think's gonna happen? There is usually an emergency. When we arrive, I get right to work. A real princess can slide down a fire pole in a frilly skirt. No one dreams of telling her it's too dangerous. Princess to the rescue! I save the kingdom as usual. Oh, she is a fierce princess, isn't she? Fighting fires. When I lasso the dragon, the townspeople cheer. Lock him up, they yell, but I have a different idea. I invite the dragon to tea. It turns out he's just crabby because his little brother melted his crayons. All he needs is a little cheering up and a fresh box of crayons. What a polite princess. I like how she solved that problem and didn't overfill her jails. What a great way to rehabilitate that dragon. Then I go to school. A princess studies magical beasts, fencing, and circus arts. I've passed my trapeze test with flying colors. Next, it's time for lunch. A queen from a faraway land is my guest. We eat 3 slices of pink cake each. The frogs in the royal mud puddle invite us for a game of leapfrog. Doesn't that look like fun? Then it's time to get cleaned up because the royal ball is coming. Or the royal ball is tonight. I dive into a giant tub with hot and cold running bubbles and a dolphin. The queen and I choose the perfect clothes. Her dress looks like the sky at sunset. My gown shimmers like starlight. Oh, did you see Noodle's tail there? Everyone gathers for the ball, even a troop of big hairy trolls. Some of my subjects are frightened. Not me, because I know that trolls love to dance. Strike up the band, I call. The ball is saved. I dance with the head troll. And a very handsome prince. Maybe I'll marry him when I grow up, but right now I'm just too busy. That's right, Noodle. She's much too busy to get married now. I have lots of fires to fight and lots of dragons to cheer up. After a long night, I head home and curl up in my own bed.
In the morning, I find sparkles in my hair. You look tired, Mom says. Did you have a busy night? She winks. There are sparkles in her hair, too. That night, she tucks me in. I'll see you later, I whisper. And I do. The end. Wasn't that a good book, boys and girls? Oh. Should we end with a song tonight? Let's do a short one. Let's do. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, give yourself a hug. If you're happy and you know it, give yourself a big hug. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, give yourself a big hug. Oh, I wish I was there to give you a big hug too. Thank you so much for spending time with me tonight. Miss Courtney Dunn is so thankful that you spend time with us, reading stories and singing songs on Bedtime with Bird. We will see you tomorrow night at 8 on Instagram, Twitter, and here on Facebook. Our hearts ride with you. We are birds on the same wind. Tonight, how about we meet in the biggest tree that you can imagine? I'm going to be a beautiful green leaf. Would you like to be a leaf with me? Let's pretend that we are blowing in the wind. Won't that be fun? We'll be blowing in the wind on a giant tree. In our dreams, all right? I'll see you tomorrow night. Well, actually, I'll see you on Monday night. How about that? On Bedtime with Bird. Mazel, friends.